And we are live.
What's up, man? How
Thanks
you
for
doing?
joining us. This is In the Loop. Or I would say this is a special episode. I'm really excited to have this conversation. We got a little bit into it, and this is probably where we're going to get a lot into Bob Proctor.
Yeah.
This is a segment that on the way up here, I'm like, man, I want to do this once a week or something, but we're probably going to do it once a month or twice a month. But it's a time where I just want to bring the artists on and talk about, I think the most precise word is faith. And we're going to take it as many directions as we, I guess, feel the need to. And though there is an agenda behind it that I hope can show itself through and make not only us, like in this small group, but just the collect, anybody who's watching, like just more aware about I would say another word again,
Just gonna help everybody like give advice kind of openly.
well, there's something else. I'm gonna make sure this doesn't play. There's something else, like the duality of living life. Bob Proctor maybe talks about. There's this space in being a human where the things that we don't understand or have maybe been brought up to believe it is a certain way, we demonize or just start kind of like what's happening right now politically and other things, right? It's like whatever the error is in that we find in this person or this group, I feel like either sensationalized or exaggerated, and then it develops into hate, and so sometimes I think that happens, and I've been the worst at it because I told a little bit on an Instagram post a couple of days ago that a realization that I had because of COVID over the last few months is when I was growing up. I grew up that a realization that I had because of COVID over the last few months. I don't know what that is, Justin. I grew up, I guess, in the traditional, what do they say, dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
Meaning, I don't mean to chuckle, but I guess that's the way I hide it. Is my pops was in and out of prison, my mom was in and off the streets.
Yeah.
We were living with different people, things like that. So, there was a lot that I did not know about. I was just ignorant to the way that life worked.
Yeah.
And I always found myself in situations where people were, I wouldn't say dehumanizing me, but having like no grace and no mercy of my ignorance, instead of coming alongside of me and trying to understand my way of being. And so I grew up, and even up until recently, like I've just been really harsh on people.
Yeah.
If I find error in them.
Okay.
I adopted what I was like, look, and I remember thinking like at 12 or 13, another teacher was getting onto my attitude or something, and in my mind, I'm like, don't you know my brother just died, my sister just died, and my dad went to prison all in the same year? Like, don't you think this is a natural reaction? Like, I'm yelling for help.
Yeah.
And you're over here just, getting on to me, getting on.
What he's doing.
And outcasting more than like bringing in, right? Mm-hmm. Which is, hopefully we'll get into this. Like, if you do believe, and if you, in the Christian faith, it talks about the shepherd leaving the 99 and go find the one.
Yeah.
And so I felt like that didn't happen in my upbringing within my community. So I'm like, well, fuck it. If at the very worst of my life, I got no grace and mercy, then nobody the rest of my life gets any grace or mercy from me.
Yeah.
So I just became this real person, right? So what I hope is in these conversations, as we dig a little bit about your faith and how you guys get through the hard times. Now, I encourage you, if we get into a space where you feel uncomfortable, is to try to push through it and maybe use this time as an opportunity to grow past it, especially if there's still some hurt or still some other stuff that's there. And that's where I want to be utilized through God in the universe, is to be able to maybe have conversations. Like I think conversation opens up space tremendously.
Yeah.
Emotionally, mentally, intellectually for sure, and helps us grow through some things. So that was a long intro.
Yeah.
So thank you on
No
that
problem,
note. Thank you guys so much for having this conversation, because this is usually an impromptu conversation you have late at night with a friend, and then you
Yeah.
wake up and you're like, man, thanks for listening. You never mention it again.
Yeah.
And we're having it here on purpose live. So I commend you already. This is I'm going to say the first for me, but definitely the first on live too. So I'm a little nervous over here and sweating. And excited to have this type of conversation, especially with artists. And then again, to the point that I was making is we're gonna mess up. That's the point that I was getting to. Is I'm like, Sam, like there is no end point.
Yeah.
There is no, I'm gonna read this book, I'm gonna go to church this one time, I'm gonna have this revelation, and then everything's good. I'm never gonna mess up. I'm never gonna assume. I'm never gonna be passive. Like, you know, it took me this long to realize that about myself, which is what this really was about, is me not having grace and mercy on myself. And then of course that projected onto other people. So I really want to get to that point, is like, you're an artist, which means you're gonna have more attention than normal people.
Yeah.
Which means your life is probably gonna be more in the light than other people, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to say normalized in a negative way, but I want to try to normalize in the 4-3-2 that we're gonna mess up.
Yeah. Obviously.
And again, I've been the worst at it. It's an opportunity to have grace and mercy. And oh my God, even right now, it feels so bad. The way that I've been to people. So
yeah.
I'll start it off with just we talked about in the first episode with you guys, the way you went about creating your art.
Yeah.
The way it started, where you are right now, and I want to ask, first off, do you have faith? What do you believe in, and how does that play a part in your creativity? And do you find yourself maybe not? Has it been guardrails for you, or do you find it, or has it been restraints for you? Does that make sense? So sometimes our faith and what we believe in can keep us from taking an opportunity.
Yeah.
And so we're at odds with ourselves because we feel guilty and we want to take that opportunity. Or sometimes our faith are guardrails and there's this opportunity and we're like, nope. Exactly, right? Yeah. So I just want to know, what is your faith? Do you have, and when I mean faith, it's definitely a belief in something greater than yourself, God, the universe.
I would definitely say I believe in a creator. Just because of like how deep, like to me, when people say, "Oh, it was a big boom" or whatever, and like, "Oh, this is here," but it's like it's almost too perfect. You know what I mean? Like we're designed, like when we eat something, our body digests it, and it's just a whole system. If you think about it, it's designed, and that's something I strongly believe. I do believe we were created, and I think I believe in like morals, you know what I'm saying? I think there are rules that we should follow. And I don't know, it's for me, like I was raised in a church, Christian church. And when I was younger, like I would always see I guess like I loved everybody that went there and stuff, but like I guess as a kid I would like judge them and be like, "Oh, they tell me to do this, but they don't do it." You know what I'm saying? And it was just like it made me kind of like wonder like, oh, what is all the church for and stuff. And I've had like points in my life where I was like doubted it, you know what I'm saying? But I think studying and stuff pushed me to believe because of just the precision of like God's work. You know what I'm saying? Sure. It just always works out how it should, like in a divine way. Like her next project's gonna be called Divine Timing.
Oh man. Yeah. I'm sure the naming was divine timing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. But definitely, you would. I think that's what I would say. It's just too perfect. You know, like I don't know. Like, I don't think this could just like pop out of nowhere.
Sure. And there's a lot of literature. I've read not enough. The more that I learn, I seem to know less. I'm like, man, I just want to unlearn it all.
Yeah.
You talked about Bob Proctor, and so when you say a creator, how does your faith play out, knowing that you were created, that this is, so when you say creator, let's talk about that. Do you mean designed, this world we live in, this ecosystem, everything is designed?
Everything has a system. Like, if you think about the water cycle, it's a system. It happens over and over again, and it's just, everything is made in a way to where, like, even the moon has cycles.
Sure.
The day, the night, it doesn't
Seasons.
change. It's seasons. You know what I'm saying? Everything.
Humans have circadian rhythms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all like, it's patterns, and it's like, it's drawn out. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at a human, he's like symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
He has two hands. And like, I don't know. To me, that's just too perfect for it to just like magic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, something like it blew up and then this happened. To me, that's too far fetched for some reason, and
you said
it makes more sense to me that we were created.
You grew up
in a Christian church.
Okay. And always having, you guys still go, right? Do you go to church?
We went to Bible study the other day.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Siarah, what about you?
Well, I grew up in a Christian church as well. My dad was a pastor for a minute, and I still believe in Christianity. Like, I believe in God. I believe, like, he created us. I believe in everything like that. There are some parts of Christianity that I'm like, I don't know. More the religion part. Like, I believe in God in my own way, but I don't really want to call it, like, I'm a Christian, you know? I'm just like, I believe in God. I believe, like, the Bible. I believe all of that stuff.
Yeah, I think religion is different than, like, belief.
Faith.
Yeah, faith.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect word. Faith. Like, religion is so different. It's like, if you don't do this and you don't do this, like, this happens. Or if you do this, like, oh, you're wrong. You know what I mean? And I think
it's always a punishment.
To me, it's about morals. And if you live right and you do the right things and you believe and you have faith and stuff like that, I think that's what it really takes, in my opinion. I don't think it takes other things. You know what I mean? I feel like there's, I don't know. It's hard to explain sometimes.
How does that, Siarah, how does that play out for you being an artist? Is there always a, and I don't want to, well, I am going to say it. I would say, especially because we live in the 432, which is predominantly conservative Christianity, that Christianity seems to be that, what I described as a kid to me, this harsh, pointing out, no,
like judgmental.
It's like you're either in or you're out. You're either 100% or you're not. You know, there's all this preaching about being lukewarm and things like that, and it's like, man, you can't have a downtime. Like, but in my mind, I'm like, but God taught me about seasons, and He said, so for me, it became confusing. Things like that, like, didn't really line up, and so I feel Christianity is like that part of it. But how do you find yourself questioning what you're trying to create, if it's going to be accepted, or should you be doing it?
I know, like, growing up, I had learned that in the Bible it says not to idolize people, and I took that as in, like, famous people, you know, like singers or rappers or whatever. Like, don't idolize them and be like, oh my gosh, I love that person or whatever. I would always be like, I don't think, there was a moment where I was like, being an artist, is that a bad thing, like, in the Bible? Like, making music and going on, like, stages and people being there and, like, you know, singing along to you and with you. And I, like, looked it up, and I couldn't get really too much detail on it, but I think it was just the way that you, like, put it out, like, your music. Like, if you're singing about things that are obviously bad, like, it's not good music,
sure,
like, to God. But that's why I make sure to make my music, like, I don't cuss in my music, and I'm not talking about bad things, because first of all, that's too cliche. Like, music these days just all sounds the same. So I try to make my music different within, like, our lives and my beliefs and my faith. A lot of my songs have to do with, like, my guardian angels, I think. So
Yeah, I think our whole group music is like that. It almost consists of like self-belief or confidence or like uplifting, and it's never really like degrading anyone or like anything really.
it's never talking about like drugs and
Yeah.
having like hoes and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like and I think that's why a lot of music gets overlooked because it's just the same thing. You know what I mean? Like anybody could talk about that, but who like whenever you make, I think in my opinion, some people might not think it's good music or whatever, but I think it's good music when you're like, I have a song coming out that's called Doubt Me, and it's basically talking about like, you can think what you want about me, but I'm gonna do what I'm gonna be able to do it because I believe I can. And like, to me, that's better than me talking about like, oh, I'm at a party, I'm drinking. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you're saying.
And it's like, it's more of a message about like, you can do this too, like, versus like, I don't know, I'm all into like having fun and stuff, but there's a cap on it for me.
Well, yeah, I think you touched on something that and a lot of people see is like this transition of whatever terms you want to use. The space that I'm in use 3D, 5D, meaning for me that's real of this world. Yeah. Materialistic things like that. 5D is spiritual. It's about love. It's about connection. It's about interconnectivity.
Awesome.
You know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I think that there's a shift happening on a large scale right now that I see where, like you're saying, it's tired. It's what we've been consuming, not even for 20, 25 years, for thousands of years. You know? This split in life, or this, it's not healthy. Is what it comes down to. That's what we're learning, right? Like mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that's not a healthy way of being as a human. What about you? How has your faith either been guardrails or restraints? Have you felt it?
I think it helps me because my belief is like, one of my strongest beliefs is like awareness. Your awareness of yourself, and if you keep an awareness of like what you can do, and you like Bob Proctor talks about awareness all the time. You gotta just be like, if you realize what a human can really do. Me and her were talking about this on the way over here. Like, think about a cell phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, the capabilities of it is like, and it's hard to like take in.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is just like a symbol of like, oh, I could do something like that. It's that on that scale, like something crazy that, you know what I mean, changes everybody's life. And I think it's just like, especially like me believing that everything falls into place because it's like created and it's like designed. I think it keeps me lifted. It makes me realize like, okay, this is happening for a reason, and I just got to realize why. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh, like, not like being unaware, and like, because I feel like if you're aware of like how it works, the world works, then you don't really stress because you're like, everything's gonna fall into place because that's how it works. It's like gravity. It's a law of the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's another like, I don't know,
something we can go into.
Yeah, universe, whatever. But like, every time you drop a ball, it's gonna go down. It's never gonna go up. It's always working.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just so many laws that if you learn about them and study them, you can use them as a tool to get what you want, and like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Where you want.
For me, it reminds me it becomes life happening to me to life happening for me.
Yeah.
So
you know what I mean?
Instead of, oh, this happened, I shouldn't do it, versus no, this happened, I'm still going. It's just a detour or something like that.
Yeah, and it's almost just like, it's just feedback for yourself to realize what to do next time. So like, let's say I started a business or whatever, and then my first client like doesn't enjoy the service or whatever, and they tell me like, oh, you need to do this better. And it's not a bad thing that they didn't enjoy it. It's a good thing because now I know next time I got to make sure I do this every time.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's kind of what I'm glad you said what you said is why I wanted to have these conversations is, as an artist, especially in the 432, I can see where you're probably not the only one who's thought that. Like, should I want to be a superstar? I have this, or should I want to be an artist? I have this desire, but sometimes it's other people's voices. Really, it's not your own interpretation of what God is telling you. That's why when I did work at a youth place, and I was teaching and preaching to youth, it was I told them, I'm never going to tell you what you should or should not do, first off, because I don't know what your journey needs to be. God knows that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's I can tell you all day long, but until you experience it yourself, which is what I felt you described in the, early in this conversation, is until you know it truth for yourself, then it becomes real.
Yeah.
So I feel like out here in the 432, there's probably a battle with a lot of people wanting to be an artist. Yeah. It's like, should I want this?
Is it wrong?
Is it wrong? Am I doing too much? Am I, should I be posting this? Should I be saying that? Things like that. Have you found yourself in that back and forth often, and is it still a back and forth, or are you pretty confident in what God is doing for you and what the universe is doing for you as an artist?
I don't think I'm really back and forth with it anymore, because I understand like using talents in a good way rather than in a bad way, and just making sure that I'm not making music that's about like worldly things, I guess. So I'm not really struggling with that anymore. I'm more confident about what I'm making and
in the direction you're going.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. For me, I remember too being a kid, like thinking like, is it bad to be famous or whatever? And I feel like it's not a bad thing, because it just depends how you use your platform. Like, there's some people that use it for the worst and it makes things bad, you know what I mean? And there's some people that use it to like help people, like unlock their higher self, like,
sure,
you know what I mean? Like, there's people I look up to that like Russ is somebody I look up to, and he gives steps on like, try this, do this, and like I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's like, you know what I'm saying, just because he's like made a lot of music and a lot of people like it, what does that have to do with like being inhumane or being a bad person? You know what I mean? To me, that doesn't make sense.
Well, and I can see that with if you're being a false self.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? If you're stepping into that space and that's not who you are anyway.
Yeah.
And so you're talking about, which is even worse than than the stuff that you're promoting, because you're living a false identity, which is even worse, because when you find yourself and you find what you're supposed to do and why you were created, right? They say there's 2 days, right? The day you're born and the day you find out why, the most important days. And so until you find yourself, you may be quote find yourself, uncover yourself, you may be occupying a space that's not even you, and I think sometimes that's where it's even worse and more detrimental. It's like, are they really living like that? Because I can understand if someone is talking about those things, because that's their story, that's the cards that they were dealt, right?
That's all they know.
And so for them, similar to you, Siarah, like they're saying the same thing, like, this is all I got. I'm going to tell my story, right? And so they go out there.
Yeah, that's actually true. That's a good point.
And then after the point, right? Then after that, after they lifted themselves, then you have a choice. I think, right? So that's why having this conversation, I think, again, is important, because when I was working it was a faith-based organization. I uncovered Kevin Gates, or not uncovered, but like I came across Kevin Gates.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I really like his stuff, but then I'm working there, so I, as an adult, was like, should I be listening to this because I work with things like that, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw a video of Kevin Gates on his knees in some neighborhood with a whole bunch of guys around him, and just giving God, the glory to God.
That's crazy.
And God showed me something different, and he's like, what I just shared is like, look, that's what he was dealt. And and because it's interesting with guys like that they don't really play with God, and because I think they understand it and respect it fully. Like, that's not something I want to mess with. Like, I think they believe in it the most, and not
because they've seen the most.
Because they've probably seen the most, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's a I don't think it's a gray area, but it's an interesting space to look at, to be like, what are they experiencing, right?
Yeah, but I think it's like how you say, I think everybody's dealt their cards, you know what I mean? And like, you have your journey, and only you know that.
Exactly.
And so I think that's what matters most. Because, like, it's not about what people are looking, like, what they see. It's about what you know inside. And, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's the most important thing. Like, I know a lot of people that don't go to church every Sunday, but they're strong believers and they, like, have, you know what I mean? They have the most faith, like, more than people that I've seen in church.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And they'll read their Bible at their house. You know what I mean? It's just, I think it's about what's inside, really.
So how do you guys stay in that space? How do you have consistent faith? Even if you don't, how do you get your faith back in the times when, most of the words being used, like when you're tested, because life is supposed to, I guess. It's never,
Yeah.
I used to believe in a utopian world that there's never supposed to be error and I shouldn't be tested,
Yeah.
and it took me till I was like probably 31 or 32 to be like, oh wait, life is just full of challenges. It's the same test over and over, and I just master it. As time goes on, it's never really gonna go. So I used to get, like, early on in when I was like 17, 18, and in my faith, I got a flat tire, and I would be upset and thinking it's like the enemy coming after me, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But then later on, I was like, oh no, Sam, like those tires needed to be replaced. You should have replaced them. That's why you got a flat, right? So I just learned a little bit more and became more aware in life. But how do you guys? How's that happened first off, and then what got you your faith back? And
I think for actually a long time, it's not that I stopped believing God, but I started more believing in, like, the universe. Like, I would watch, like, tarot readings, and I was really big on that, and I was like, I mean, it felt wrong. Like, to me, it felt wrong. I don't think tarot readings are bad, though. Like, I still personally like watching them. I know that you're not supposed to, but I just think they give me a lot of, like, positivity, and I'm, like, happy after I watch them because they always resonate so well. But for a long time, I was just, like, not praying anymore, didn't really even think about God at all. I was just, like, universe, like, tarot readings and angels. And I just felt like it was wrong. And just randomly, honestly, like, I was like, this isn't okay. Like, I need to start praying. And I kind of got back into my faith a little bit recently, like, probably like a month ago.
Oh, wow.
Started praying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my thought on that is, like, I've always seen it as, like, everybody's studying the same thing. Does that make sense? So, like, whenever someone's like people talk about praying, I feel like that's almost similar to affirmations. You know what I mean?
And
like, it's
meditating.
almost, you know what I mean? I think it's all it's like science and theology, when you look at them, they're a lot alike. Like, they talk about energy, like things not being created or destroyed. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be, it's always there or whatever. But for me to keep, like, faith, I guess I should say, I recently started, probably like a month ago too, I started writing down 10 things I'm grateful for and why. And that, like, it puts things in perspective, because, like, the other day, one of the things I wrote down was, like, warm water. Like, I'm glad I could take a warm shower. And, like, whenever you realize, like, sometimes I'm sitting in my studio and I look, and I remember when I didn't have, like, speakers, or I didn't have, like, certain stuff, and I'm just like, dang, I have this stuff. And, like, you know what I mean? Just gratefulness. I think whenever you replace like ungratefulness with gratefulness, you, like, it just makes you happy automatically. You're like, dang, dude, I have, like, a real chance. And anybody can do it. Anybody can look around and realize what they're grateful for instead of realizing what they don't have.
Yeah, and there's neuroscience behind that, for sure.
Yeah.
The brain waves and things like that happen when you're grateful. Gratefulness is, like, one of the greatest activations that you can have as a human being to attract whatever it is you want to attract. What, to your point, though, is, for me, the way that I've seen what you guys are describing is, like, that's called a chair in English, and in Spanish it could be called a silla.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah. Dude. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, is that
bro?
what you're telling me? So I remember I went to Stonegate for 10 years, and there's a lot of discussions, and we were going through, there's a book called I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist. It's a very thick book. It's like a 9-week course. And our table leader, they were talking about primordial soup, so I guess the Big Bang, and then
Yeah.
faith, I guess, religion. And I stopped him. I said, "Are you guys?" It was early on. I was like 2021. I was like, "Are you guys just describing?" I said, "Are you telling me what's happening here is that this group of people believe the way the world should work this way, and these group of people should believe the way the world, and that they're just telling each other that's what the way the world should work?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "That just doesn't make sense to me." Like,
Yeah.
so that's what I meant about early on is duality. Is there's feminine, there's masculine, there's the yin, the yang, and so there's darkness and there's light.
Yeah.
So I'm tarots and so like I have a lot of what they call like Scorpio energy, so a lot of dark energy. And I had people tell me a lot that I'm for some reason intimidating. I'm like, man, I'm a little dude. Like, what do you mean? But like the depths of where I go, because I go like real deep into like esoteric knowledge, like just Bob Proctor. Okay, where did he learn? Where did he learn? What did they learn? And just go real deep. And so sometimes, like I'm a natural psychologist, so I can like pick up on what people are thinking, and I can just read through emotions, and so things like that. So people are like really intimidated. Like, nah, people have told me like, bro, you look at me and I see like you're looking through my soul, you know.
Yeah.
So, knowing that, I don't know. It's helped. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's just words that we're using. It's just different words, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like I'm. This is the full picture, and I'm up. My nose is up to the wall, and that's the piece that I'm describing.
Yeah.
So, unless you're getting like the thing that I have found out though about like, or that I've discovered about myself with tarot and astrology and things like that is, you are your God. Which makes sense, right? Like I am that I am that I am, which is I make a statement all the time, like I am that I am. And at the same time, though, I felt one day I had this revelation that really just 2 weeks ago. It's like, but I'm weak.
Yeah.
You know, I break down probably 2 or 3 times a week. I'm like, my flesh is weak. I am weak. I'm like, if I am my God, and I depend on me, I'm done. Like I can't do it.
Yeah.
And so I just had this revelation about Christ and things like that. I'm like, oh, like to lean on Him or to lean, it took the weight off.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to carry it, whatever I was trying to carry, and because I'm trying to carry it because I'm my God. And I'm trying to seek all the answers, and I'm being in control, which is kind of what I see with like astrology reading. It's real selfish because it's telling me what I want to hear and what I need to hear.
That's
and
crazy.
Christianity is about others, type stuff. So
yeah, that's crazy.
And I don't knock. I still look at tarot. I still look at astrology. Like as an artist though. So like one day the way I came about doing this, I was going to church in the hood, and it was a Friday. And I just had this urge, this desire, like, not to go. And I'm like, Father, but I feel bad, like, if I don't go. Like, I've committed, I'm dedicated, this and that, this image or whatever, reputation. And I'd been wanting to go to this art studio. And there was always this talk about this art studio because it was also, like, a yoga studio. And so practice astrology and things like that.
Yeah.
And I would always look at it. It was Kamapazzi on Big Street, Midland. And then that day I was just like, I'm just going to go. And I went and I walked in, and it was a friend from high school. So we were just like, hey, and they're the owners. And then the art that was there was all Christian artwork. And it was like God saying, like, where you go, I'm there, right? Like, I'm not leading you astray. Those desires that you have, like, those are from me. Like, this is your journey, right? Which is something I think happens like when you're probably a teenager becoming an adult. Is like you realize you're not your friends, you realize you're not your cousins, right? And then it's high school and you're like, you got maybe one cousin that you still talk to or something, or one friend, right? Because you're on your own journey. But as an artist, for me, like I like spoken word, but I like to cuss. Cussing is like
it's like another word.
It's another word for me, right? Because of my culture and the way that I grew up, and like even talking mess, like anybody who comes new into our family, like if we're having a gathering and this new person walks in,
give them a hard time,
roasting them like till they leave, right? And it's like if you can't deal with that, like I'm sorry, like you can't come around. But sometimes that comes across the wrong way. So you'll find me like just talking a lot of shit and just like, but not violent and not aggressive. Just the way we were. There was 9 of us in the house. We had to talk shit and be tough to each other. So as an artist, for me, there was this conflict of can I do this? Should I do that? Can I pursue that? Can I post this? Can I post that? Can I do? And it just seemed overbearing, like it crippled me and it paralyzed me. I didn't do anything. Yeah. And then I kept being reminded of the parable of the talents, and I kept thinking that God was going to show up and be like, I gave you this talent, and I was so afraid. That's how I felt, like I was that guy. Yeah. I was so afraid I buried it. Like, I didn't know if I should go right. I didn't know if I should go left. And it took me a few years to get over that, as an adult, which is why I'm want to have these conversations when, at your age, is like, if you guys can go through that, which it sounds like early on, then, the rest of your career as an artist, maybe those times won't happen. Has that happened where like you're in this state of rest and about what you should do next because of what you believe in or anything like that, or what others might think of you? Or
I think everybody's like wants to do the right thing, you know what I mean? They're thinking like, well, what should I do? Or at least that's how I am. And I would think, and sometimes I'll overthink, but I'm starting to realize like you should like think less, you know what I mean, and just do, because then that's whenever you get the result, or you get like the messages from God per se, like you like how we were talking about earlier, like you fail and then you just get feedback, and then it's like, okay, now this is the next step. It shows you what the next step is, and
it's not a roadblock.
Yeah, and like I think that's what it's about, because it's a journey, you know what I mean. And I think for me, not really, or I've come to realize that now, but I think before, I was like think too much, like, oh, I shouldn't do that, like, oh, they're gonna, like, someone will be offended by it, you know what I mean. But I think now I understand myself more, I think, and then it's just like think less and do more.
There's like more excitement in the journey, and like, this is, again, it's like when you find out what you're supposed to be, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, which is what for me the parable of the talents is. I'm like, I never really got that story until understanding like my strengths, and I always thought of it as like a literal talent. The way, if we say talent today, what do we think?
Someone that's good at something,
right? Automatically, like this super athlete or
super singer. Insanely good at it.
But a talent could be like, like my youngest being incredibly organized and being able to take apart a pantry and
that is
put it back together. It's like, that's a really good talent. Like, and somebody paid her to organize their office. Boom, paid her. So it took me a long time to understand that, like, knowing that like a conversation is a talent.
That's crazy.
Networking is a talent.
There's so many. It's endless, really.
Yeah, consuming information and sharing it, like what a preacher or teacher does, right? Like, so there's so many talents, and I don't know if we foster finding those as you're growing up, and how important it is to like step in that space and be that. Me having daughters, I would hate for them to be somebody that they're not. That's my biggest fear. Everything else, I'm like, but becoming somebody that you're not, or trying to be something that you're not, I'm like, that scares me. I don't want them to have to go back and forth on what they should do next. I think I think a lot of people stay in that space because I see it. It's like they live a certain way, they have dreams, they have goals, and they adopt a certain faith, and then it's like they shelve it, and it's like a sacrifice they feel they have to do. Like, I'm gonna submerge this urge to do something great for you, God. And I don't know about that. I'm thinking God's up there like, what the hell are you doing? Like the angry.
I mean, I think that's weird because he's the one that like gives us the talent. Like, I feel like regardless of what you're doing, I mean, obviously if you're doing something bad, it's bad. But like if you're pursuing like dreams of yours, it really doesn't matter. What matters is like your relationship with God and your faith and like your morals more than being like, no, I'm not gonna do this because I'm gonna be someone part of the church instead, or you know, something like that. I mean, obviously if you want to be somebody like that, like you really truly want to leave your talents behind to like be someone that's in the church or something like that, then do it. But I don't believe in like putting your talents away for.
Yeah, I think it's I agree with you saying. Like, I feel like God gives you your dreams. I feel like you don't decide what your dream is. You discover it. You know what I'm saying?
Good. Yep, I like that.
And to me, that's where it goes back to the difference between religion and faith. For me, it's like,
so what's religion isn't. What's it for you?
It's like not it. To me,
no,
that's
but what
not,
is it? If we had to break apart religion and take it apart and look at it, like, what are the 2 or 3 main parts of religion that describe religion for you?
Like, I understand it to a certain extent, like why it needs to be there and stuff and why, but to me, sometimes it almost feels like a dictatorship. Like you have to do this.
Oh yeah.
You have to, like, you know what I mean? Like control, like it's just control, it's just confinement, it's just a cage almost.
Have you guys, from the people around you, real quick tangent off of that, is because you say feels like that, have you guys experienced from people around you about pursuing being an artist? Has anybody tried to come talk to you and be like, maybe you shouldn't be doing that?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I was like,
no, I never experienced that. But to me, it's just like, I don't know. It's just so many things that it like puts a cap on. Like, for example, like a cuss word, like you said. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think cuss words are bad. I think they're just words. I think, like, cause you can make any word. Like, I could be like, I call her a weeb, and like, you could think that's a bad word. You know what I'm saying? But it, like, to me, it just means like, it's just like a little like play around word, like it's like a little name or whatever. You know what I mean? Like name calling.
For me, I don't like. It's not like I don't cuss because I'm like, no, God wouldn't like that. I don't cuss because of respect for like my dad and my mom and my grandma and like the kids that are listening to my music.
Yeah, the belief that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I think the biggest betrayal or sin is. It's like the young Suave that I had on Saturday. He talked about cussing as well, that he doesn't. And he said this bar that was, pretty, not really belittling people who cuss, but saying, like, I don't have to say those words and I can still kill it, right? And I was like, well, that's not you anyway, right? So, like, for you, it would be an inauthentic Siarah trying to cuss anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, normally, like, talking to people, like, I will, but just in my music for the, like, respect of others, I'm like, no.
Oh, okay.
And
so it is a conscious decision that you're saying, okay, I'm not going to cuss.
I mean, I never really, I'm like, oh, this cuss word would sound good right here. Like, I just will make lyrics, and I'm never like,
but you are saying this cuss word will not sound good here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of the same thing.
Yeah. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like for me, when I'm writing, I guess I could say I do avoid cuss words, but to me, it's because it's not as good writing.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a better word than like fuck.
Yes, it's filler.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's filler, exactly. Versus when you can put a descriptive word. That's why I don't really try. I try to avoid it.
That. I can see that.
I've been trying so hard not to, actually, like, not to cuss, because I would, like,
regularly.
In person?
Oh, so you're a
like,
cusser?
Just talking.
Yeah. She'll say shiz all the time.
I would try not to, and I'm like, shiz, and he's like, stop saying that. And I'm like, dude, it's helping me not to cuss, like...
Shiz.
But to me, it almost like the only reason I say stop is because to me it's like it's the same like idea behind it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You're still saying
but
chair.
I could say it in front of like older people, and my grandma would be like,
sense.
"What?" Like they're just like.
I get it.
I mean, it makes sense both ways. It makes sense both ways to me.
It's interesting. Yeah, that's the part we talked about. Is cussing.
Yeah.
Like cussing. Well, it's real big out here.
It is actually.
I have my the school called me often because of my oldest, and I had to have that talk with them. I'm like, chair, like, why are you getting so offensive? That's the part where that, I don't want to say bothers me, but that intrigues me, is the people who get offended by it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just work, or they won't even have a conversation with someone or connect with someone or even have the nerve to call them like a non-believer, or that they don't believe because that they cuss, and it's like, that's a very interesting
yeah, I think it just
judgment to
depends
have.
Yeah, I think it's just it's a perspective, you know what I mean? It just depends how you think of it. I've always seen it as words, and like, cause like, especially whenever you see friends and they're like, ah, bitch, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, versus like saying it that way.
Sure.
It's different. It's a way different word.
Yeah, he means in the way we
You know what I mean? I
communicate,
think,
for sure.
I think that's, for me, where it stands, like morals. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know. It's just
Usually the people that are
weird.
like the most judgmental are the ones that are doing the most behind closed doors.
It
like,
is
just
that
to
way.
be honest, like
It
really
is that
truly.
way. It is that way every time.
They're like, you are doing this,
You know it
wow.
is.
But then like behind closed doors, they're like,
Boy.
doing more than.
It really is that way. It's
It really
crazy.
is, yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation for sure. But I think it's just safety. People want to feel safe. Like, that person probably feels, the person who does the most and then comes out and is the most critical, they probably feel so unsafe because they're not their authentic self, that they have to project, that over there, don't look over here, for them to feel safe.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. If they're getting onto that person, they must not be doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. So don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That makes a
natural
lot of sense.
psychologist stuff. I agree with you because I see it. Like, it's true.
Yeah, it's because like how everything is our like reflection. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I think that's how the astrology stuff works. I've always like, I remember being younger and wondering like, how do they know what I'm going? Like, how does this make sense? And it wasn't until I got older to where I like understood like psychology or whatever. Like, it's just your mirror. It's just putting something abroad. Like, oh, you're having a hard time with some stuff. Like, it's such a broad thing to say, and anyone could like be like, oh yeah, they could think of something that they're having problems with automatically. And I think
the algorithm is already there of
you know
human
what I mean?
psychology. That's what I think it is. It's, I mean, I don't understand it. It's complex as heck.
Yeah, it's definitely complex, but like I feel like it's just self-reflection. It's like when someone reads the Bible, it's like, oh, this person did this and they did this and God did this, and then you like realize, oh, I do this stuff, and you know what I mean? It's almost all the same thing. That's why I'm gonna take it back to what we were talking about. Like, there's like Muslims, there's Christians, there's Catholics, they're studying all the same like ideas, and I don't understand what separates them other than like rituals. You know
Exactly,
what I'm saying?
rituals. Yeah, that for me, that's the difference between religion and faith. Like, is rituals is because this activity that I have in my life, it looks this way. It makes me holier than thou because your activity doesn't look this way. So that's what I like about the personal relationship, which is what nobody can take away from you. Like, as the things that I do, and I do them publicly. I'm a social experimenter, at the core of me, and I'm a disruptor, and so I like to put mirrors in front of people more than anything, and for them to see themselves, like the worst part of themselves. But also, I like to go against societal norms. So the things that I post about, like consuming cannabis, but also believing in God and Christ and having some of the most profound revelations, because I spend so much time with God. When somebody talks about prayer and meditation, like a set time, for me, I'm like, how do you live your life not in constant prayer and meditation? I'm in constant prayer and meditation. Understanding that I have of God and the connection that I have. If it's instant and I don't need to go through anything and I've been washed of everything, meaning I can come to you whenever I want, well, then I'm gonna hold your hand for the rest of my life. I'm gonna stay. If you're the source, why would I ever let go?
The guidance,
right? And so in the Word it talks about being moving like the Spirit. Moving like the wind. That's how the Spirit moves. Go left, go right. Like, you can't determine it. And sometimes I feel like, again, the personal relationship I have with God's like, go left, go right, go left, go right. And it's like, man, what the heck is Sam doing? But nobody can take away from me what God is telling me when I take that left or take that right. So that's all I care about.
So much sense.
So as an artist, I'm like, I'm an artist. Like, my life is my art. It's first off, how can I assess a man's life when he's alive? Give him to the rest of his life before you have some type of, I don't know what he's going through. I don't know what if his
Yeah.
journey is like Joseph, right? His 15 years in the cave.
Yeah.
But at the year 10, I'm like, look at him. He's a loser. He's in prison. And
Yeah.
not realizing that God was in control the whole time, you know? So
Yeah.
I always have that statement, like, don't assess a man's life while he's alive, let alone when he's dead. Wait 20, 30 years, you know?
Yeah.
And see the impact that he's had of the seeds that he planted, things like that.
Yeah, it's so
But
true.
having that type of faith as an artist, again, in the beginning, because my desire, again, I don't know everything that's happened in your life, or you don't know what's happened, you know, everything that's
Yeah.
happened. And the synchronistic moments, the intervention, the divine timing, think about all the divine timing you've had in your life.
It's crazy.
You probably can't even, you know,
Crazy.
chronological, like, you know.
Crazy.
So as an artist, someone can't take away that first off, but cannot not tell me that that's my journey.
Yeah. It's weird how we're in control but not in control.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird because we actually aren't at all. The only thing we really do is, like, determine what we hold in our head.
Yeah,
And that's
a good point.
And then that's what, like, takes us wherever. But other than that, like, the rest is in the hands of, like, universe or God or however you want to say it, you know what I mean? But, like, because if you're holding, like, negative ideas, negative thoughts, and that's what's going to happen, you know what I mean? And that's the way you're going to be swayed. But you get swayed that way so that maybe you'll learn. And some people don't, some people do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's the way God works. It's based off what you're thinking and what you want and stuff like that. And then, like, he'll show you what it is, and then you're like, okay, I shouldn't, or I don't want that, or it's almost weird. It's like
intuition or the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, is real. Most people have it, unless you're, what they would clinically describe as a psychopath. Psychopaths don't have that. There's a missing
that's crazy.
part in their. Well, that's why they can kill somebody with no remorse and things like that.
Wow.
So they don't have that inner voice, that inner conscience.
That's wild.
That's a whole nother subject we can get into.
That's wild. I did not know that.
Yeah, and then there's 8% of the population is like that. So about 3 million people are walking around that are like that.
What?
That's weird.
Which are, again, I don't know if it's a correlation or causation, but
yeah,
that's the same amount of percentage of people, you know, that are occupy our wealth.
Oh yeah, the smaller percentile.
Yeah. So, again, that's a whole nother. But yeah, most of us have that intuition and Holy Spirit to know that which way to go and what we shouldn't do. I think for ourselves, what I see a lot is, or what I witnessed a lot was someone trying to tell me their convictions or trying to put their convictions onto me, if that makes sense. So it's like God is convicting them, or the universe is convicting them of a habit or a destructive pattern that they have that they need to change.
Yeah.
And they're trying to press that onto me.
Yeah.
As if I have that habit. It's like, no, that's what you have. God's telling you that you need to do that. Like early on with me and smoking cannabis, and people were telling me, you know, I was like, no, God told you to do that. God ain't told me to do that yet.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
I think it's like I was telling you before, it's a reflection. Like when someone's telling you, oh, you need to do this, it's most likely what they need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people
kind of like that back to
they don't know like you know you,
Yeah.
and like God knows you, and like you have to catch yourself too whenever you're thinking like, oh, that person does this or they do that. You gotta like, oh, I do that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like there's a lot of people, like, this is like a touchy subject or whatever, but like people will be racist to, like, there's racist people, and then the people that are like, oh, they're racist to us, they'll be racist back.
It's the same thing.
And it's like, yeah, what's the difference? So it's like, whenever you think racism is a problem, it's because maybe the problem is like, maybe you're racist. You know what I mean? You think racism is a problem, but like, to me, I know that there's an issue, like, oh, there's bad people or whatever, but I try to not let it like affect how I think, or you know what I mean. I try to just stay in a good place.
Yeah, that
like,
makes
I
sense.
know there's problems, and
Sure.
I know that there's like a lot of like unfair circumstances for people. I completely understand that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's also people that'll be like, oh, they're doing this, but they don't realize they're doing it too. You know what I mean? And that's what the point is. Like, there's people that's like, oh, he's rude to people, and like, really it's just a reflection of yourself. Like, you're usually rude to people, or you know what I mean. What you think
Yeah.
of others is always true of yourself.
Sure.
That's the point.
Always, yeah. It's like, what do I need to work on?
Yeah.
To end this, because we got about 5 to 7 minutes. Went by fast, right?
It's already 5 minutes.
What do you think, Siarah, if you didn't have faith, if you didn't have something to, I would say, to help you discern life, because I think we need to discern life, and when I mean discern, I mean like the opportunities that I take, the education that I pursue, the relationships that I engage in, things like that. So I think we're in constant discernment, deciding how to create our life. Is that a very, very active part of your life, or is it just there to access, like, when you need a moment of clarity? Are you actively trying to bring in discernment, actively like trying to bring in your
guidance
and faith? Yeah, like especially right now. How old are you?
20.
Pursuing your profession or your purpose, other things, friendships, relationships, things like that. Like, is it an active part that you spend time with so that you stay, or is it something like where you hit a wall and you're like, crap? Because you're saying like a month ago, right, that
No, I think it's always active. I mean, like, I pray every day, and I like when people come into my life or like in our group, because we have like like our friend group. Somehow they always end up being so like influenced by us that they stop like old habits and stuff like that.
Wow.
And I'm always like,
it's dope.
I'm always trying to bring in the word of like God somehow. Like, like, you're going through this, like, God is putting you like right here for a reason. I'm always thinking of like God and always praying, always talking to him, and it's never just like, oh, I'm in a bad spot, like I need to pray my way out of it.
I like that. I like that you said you do that. It's almost like a time of, again, showing someone, like, no, this is like, you're loved. This is happening for you. This is not punishment, right? This is not a closed door or whatever. It's actually a closed door, but in a good way. So it's like, again, it's the same.
It's guidance.
Situation.
I'm always like, your angels are guidance. Literally right there. Like,
I like
it's
that.
happening for a reason.
Definitely, that's a good way to look at life. Again, especially as an artist, I think for me, projecting is just that not knowing yourself and not knowing how to occupy that space can keep you from pursuing your purpose and engaging in your talents, and in a sense making yourself proud, but also making God and the universe proud for using those talents. And what I hope is that not only in your story but also in some of the things you shared, like, I'm not going to assume that every artist out here in the 432 has strong faith. Some people protect their shoes better than they protect their faith. They get mad when somebody step on their shoes, but don't get mad when somebody step on their faith. And I protect my faith at all costs, because I know it's the driving force for me to create. I can't create without it. And I think as human beings, we are consumers, right, when they describe us, but we're also producers, and I think this is a time of producing, and your art, whatever form that is.
Yeah, I'll definitely say that we're producers, you know what I'm saying? Because it even says, like, in the Bible, like, we're created in God's image, and that's something I really, like, stand by, because, like, he created us, but we're just like him. Like, people have created phones, people have created TVs, we're creators, and I think that's what we're meant to do, and that's why I don't see like some people just happen to get famous because they make music, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's like, there's this guy Avicii, he kind of just got he's passed away now, but he got famous without really wanting to, you know what I mean? Like, his passion was in the music, and then like he didn't like he had like huge anxiety during shows and stuff, and he didn't like it, but
Oh.
he was like almost like forced into it, and like he eventually killed himself.
Oh dang.
But yeah, but
oh wow. Yeah.
but you know what I mean. I feel like everybody has their like. That's why I don't think like being an artist is a bad thing, or like. Sure, you could say it calls attention to yourself, but I don't. It's not always for that reason. You know what I mean? To me, I make music for people to enjoy life more, almost.
Oh, I like that.
And like guide
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what would you tell someone who is is still experiencing that constant back and forth?
I think if start one habit, not 4, not 5. Because people that's like, I need to wake up earlier, and I need to do this, and I need to eat healthier, and it's just becomes so much to where it's too heavy.
Yeah.
So I think start with one habit at a time, and the one that I started doing is like, man, it's changed my life. The grateful habit, just write down 10 things you're grateful for and why. And the only rule is you can't write down the same thing twice, because there's just endless things you could be grateful for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that'll put you in a different headspace quickly.
Yeah.
I think I would say like focus more on your faith, with whatever you believe in personally, rather than feeling like, how is everybody else going to feel about this? Focus on yourself.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
How would you encourage somebody to go about doing that for themselves? Is it plugging in? Is it getting around it? Because I think a big part of being an artist is definitely having a support system, and having a healthy support system.
Oh yeah.
More than anything, and so with beliefs like faith, I think it's important to have a support system, and if you don't, I think that's where it's hard to want to manifest these goals and dreams that you're desire so much. How would you encourage somebody to get in that space if they don't have a support system?
I would say look for it. Find new friends. Like try to, what I'm saying? There's just so many ways you can find, like, sometimes things just happen like for a reason, but I think if you reach out, like, you can make things happen too. Make things happen too. I don't know. Like, you won't find it if you're not looking for it. You know what I mean? There's this thing I read every day. It's ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. You know what I mean? And I think if you live by that, it's, you know what I mean? I think that's like just a really good guiding tool.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have a good support system, like if your friends don't support what you do, your family doesn't support what you do, like find new friends.
Get some new friends right away. No, definitely.
Environment is so important.
Very important.
So important. Like, I would not be here if it wasn't for the people I surround myself with, which is her, my friend Gabe, Trey, Eli, Alex, like everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone in our group, because we all have good morals. Like, all of us will go to church, you know what I mean, and like hang out there, and we'll talk about God, and we'll just talk about like our dreams and stuff, and it's just a healthy space.
Yeah.
Like, we care about each other too, where if someone's doing something wrong, we'll tell them. We'll be like, maybe you shouldn't do that, or you know what I mean, and like we because we care. Otherwise I would have been like, oh, I'm not gonna hang out with that guy anymore. You know what
exactly.
I mean? We care, and I think it's just about change who you're around, because that's like, if you're around, like, there's this thing that happened to me when I was young. I just used to be around a bunch of problems and like trouble, but it was because everybody I was around like were troublemakers, and they were like, as soon as I got alone, the trouble left.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so like changing your environment, I think.
Yeah,
however you can.
Desperately, like if your life depends on it.
Yeah.
Change it. I'll end it with this: is when I guess when you change your environment or looking for that, it's definitely a time you're looking to be safe. And again, you probably hadn't felt safe and secure in being yourself, and so it's a trying time as an artist if you're also growing up, because basically what we're talking about is like, especially if there is no guidance, there is no adult there, or some type of figure that's, man, do you know how much there is to figure out about life?
It's a lot.
There's a lot, and faith is, I think, one of the ones, if you can figure out early on, like you said, if you just focus on your own, then I think all else will definitely fall into place. And it seems like for you guys at 20, that's a pretty apparent that you got a grasp on it, to create the life that you're trying to create. So thanks for having this convo with me. I know it's
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, I'm sure we could get way more into it. And there's other questions that I had, because I know that that's what I said is, there's no way that you're an artist and created like the songs that you've created and you haven't gone through things, whatever that is, and again, I think we talked about it a little bit, even with the last artist. It's just about transmuting that energy, and it's like, okay, how do I use my faith, again, not as a restraint, not as a roadblock, but how do I use my faith as a spearhead, to help me create what I'm trying to create, and I think a lot of us, especially, I know for me, I was looking for approval, permission, or authority. I'd go talk to this person because I needed permission. I would go talk to this person because felt like I had authority in this space. Or I take this book, or I go listen to this person, and I'm just like, God just talked to me one day. He's like, I created you. That's all the permission, approval, and authority you need. Like,
it's crazy.
Like, I created you. Why are you going to man to get approval, permission, or authority?
Yeah.
Like, I
gave it to you.
I gave it to you. Nobody can take it away from you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And sometimes I think it matters if knowing that, the way we occupy the space that we're trying to occupy. I definitely don't look for approval, permission, or authority to do the things that God is asking me to do.
I feel like what's even crazier is, like, as artists, because it's not like an ordinary thing to do. Like, artists are all really brave, honestly, because it's not like you're not going to work and making money, and like money's not everything, but that's, I mean, you need it. So like as artists, you literally are like throwing everything aside, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go through whatever I have to go through because this is what I love to do. Like, there's more obstacles as artists, not just singers and whatever, like people that create things, paint, and are trying to make a career off of it. It's
Business
really
owners.
difficult.
I'm so glad we ended, with that. Is that, no, that's exactly what I mean by faith. As an artist, it's like every day you live by faith.
Yeah.
When I tell the stories,
you have to believe.
when I tell the stories about this eventually, I mean, I live by faith every single day. And that's what I mean. It's like a walking on water is what it feels like for me. Because I'm having fun. If I'm walking on water with Christ, bro, I'm splashing him and he's splashing me, and I'm trying to dunk him, and I'm not over there tiptoeing. Should I step this way? No, but I'm like, whoa, and coming in and living life, man. And for me, that's what faith is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to look down and fall through.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to. I've been in the water, for a long time. We talk child rearing and things like that. Like, I know what it feels like to feel drowning, and I know what it feels like for things to be chaotic and things like that. And when I uncovered faith, and God uncovered faith for me and allowed me to have faith as a creator, again, it's the greatest activation that I have. Like, for me, it's like a light beam that I put into the ground that just shoots all the way up, that just lets God know, like, I ain't going nowhere or whatever. Like the universe, like, I'm here. So yeah. And again, if you're not going to exercise your faith, I'll take it. I'll tell people, if you're scared of God's blessings, I'll take them. So I'll take them home with me. No, but guys, thanks so much for having this conversation.
Thanks for having us.
I hope your peers or your friends and your family around you chime in and just kind of get I don't know if they've ever heard you
like this.
about you and things like that, but give a glimpse into who you are and how you approach your creativity and your artistry. Again, to I would say to strengthen and make them more aware of your support system, so that they can feed that into you guys. Because I know for me, having you on, now I really want to see the whole story play out. and excited for what God and the universe have for you guys, and the divine timing and all the stories. So thanks for joining. This is In the Loop special edition, your 432 scoop. We got Leo and Siarah on for the part 2, I would say, but a little extra episode that probably wouldn't be like a part 2, but I would say this is a part 1 of something else. So
okay, I see.
you know what I mean?
Different segment
For sure. Guys, thanks again for joining us. This is In the Loop. Have a wonderful night. Do something with your life.
Oh my gosh,
Dude, it's a little hot in here.